Nintendo is in a pretty good spot right now when you think about it. They just released one of the best-selling kids movies ever with the Mario movie, which fulfilled the dream of many people who wanted to see their favorite simp plumber done right in a cinematic light. On top of that, they also just released arguably one of the best publicly received games this year with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So with all of that, it's safe to say that Nintendo is making big decisions right now to swim in even more money than they already had, even if it means destroying the life of quite literally anyone who fucks with the rules. It's good decisions like this that keeps this tight-knit company the way it is and with a dedicated fan base. But with all that's happening right now and undoubtedly what's going to happen in the future, you know, we all know Nintendo's new system is on the horizon. You wouldn't think that Nintendo would allocate any of their special time to something of theirs that isn't as popular right now, or in this case, an old console of theirs from a previous generation. I'm talking about the Nintendo 3DS console, which is Nintendo's 2011 hardware that's a cult classic even among non-Nintendo fans just because of how cool the system was. This was one of the most revolutionary handheld game devices, and it had the longest lifespan of any Nintendo hardware, with production of the 3DS only stopping in 2020. But of course, in 2017, we were introduced to the Nintendo Switch in all of its terrible battery life glory. Then the 3DS kind of just faded out of the spotlight ever since. But eyes are back on the system once again because just recently the older system received a surprised system update. Now, not that long ago, we all had to say our goodbyes to the 3DS and Wii U's eShop since they were being shut down, and with the online systems of the 3DS system on the brink of extinction, no one really thought we'd see another update anytime soon. But according to the official Nintendo Twitter account, this latest update was labeled simply as a fix for improving stability and convenience, the usual go-to answers for these kinds of updates on older consoles. After doing some digging though, because you already know that's not a good enough answer for me, it was found that these updates were brought to the system's settings, eShop app, and internet browser. Now, as crazy as it might seem to see legacy hardware get updates all these years later, it's not as weird as you might think, and definitely not the first time it's happened anytime recently. The PlayStation 3 also just got an update a few months back for some quote-unquote stability fixes, so updates like these usually are to fix security issues in the console so that the ones that still play them and use the online features can stay safe while doing so, or at least just not be able to exploit anything in the hardware, even though I wouldn't think anyone would want to be dumb enough to try and exploit Nintendo. If they couldn't win against you in court, they'll probably just fucking kill you, who knows, man. But that type of online security is important for the 3DS console, especially with the fact that it's the last Nintendo console that players can use to access their online library of Virtual Boy games. With the Wii U discontinued, those that want to access these exclusive titles via, newer hardware only has the 3DS as an option, so that would explain the thought put into the console's current functionality. Not to mention just the overall usage of the console's online modes and other games, since most still do have their multiplayer capabilities. Now overall, I personally think that this is great news to hear. The fact that companies still pay attention to their smaller audience of players who prefer their old consoles is just a great nod to those players and the evolution of their past systems. But how much longer we have until the support runs out is just something that we'll have to wait and see. So what do you guys think about Nintendo's hardware, man? Feel free to leave a comment down below. And as always, leave a like on the video, subscribe, check out the Patreon if you're interested. And I'll see you on the next one.